Thank you so much, and good evening to everyone. My name is Subir Bandapade. I'm from the Munster Rotary Club and currently the social media chair for our district. I know most of you, but not all of you, but throughout the discussion tonight, we'll get to know each other. And my day job is I'm a professor at Indian University Northwest in the School of Business. So, Chris? Because I'll be, yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll be co-presenting, Chris and I. So we'll take turns. We will be a tag team. Please go ahead.
And I'm Chris Widener, the district secretary and webmaster, and the guy who annoys everyone with the emails, such as the one for today. We're glad you were able to join us, and hopefully this answers some questions, and we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. When we get to that point, feel free to ask by just unmuting your microphone or just type your question in chat, whichever you're more comfortable with. So,
yes. So, and as Chris said, that why you were doing it, because if you recall that we had a member survey last month, couple of months back, and it was very about the social media usage, and it was very clear that most of the members use Facebook overwhelmingly than any other platform. So that's why we are doing this Facebook kind of a training, kind of an interactive session and all that. So what I like to do is that I'll take a quick poll. Maybe that will be a great idea. That I guess all of us has a Facebook account. If you do not have, maybe you can put up a flag or hand, so that we know that where we stand or where we start. So looks like all of us has that, so we can essentially skip one or two slides. So that's why I asked that question. So what I'll do is that, with your permission, share the PowerPoint deck with you. Go up. Is it visible now?
See.
Okay. All right. So, it is always kind of challenging that where we do not have an idea about the level of preparedness of from my professorial experience. The students sometimes come from different level of preparation. So where do you start? So we wanted to start really from the basic and wanted to be very flexible. So we thought about, these are some of the frequently asked questions that Rotarians may have about using Facebook or any social media. How to create a Facebook account, since all of us has an account, so we'll rather skip that. How to post and share photos and videos on my Facebook page. I think that is one of the relevant ones for us. How to like or follow a Facebook page. That also is another, maybe most of us do it already. How do I tag other Facebook pages or people on my pages photos? So that is one more. And Chris is he's a techie. I'm not the techie as such. I'm more of a strategy person. So he will have several bullet points where he's going to cover the size of the photos for optimal, view, the length of the videos perhaps. So he will get into some of the technical things toward the end of it. And as he said, that we are going to have a lot of time for the QA towards the end. So we'll quickly go through some of this material. So as I said, that I'm glad that I don't need this page to work with, that how to create a Facebook account, since all of us have that. But maybe we'll have a way to share the entire slide deck. Chris is going to help. So if you need some input on that, we can certainly go through that. So I'll skip this slide because all of us has an account. Next one I think is very relevant, how to post and share photos and videos on my Facebook page. So what I'll do is that there is a lot of narrative there, We can go through that, but maybe a good idea will be that I will stop this share and get into my Facebook account and our Munster Rotary Facebook, as well as District 6540, exactly how those things are done. So what I will do is that I'll stop for a moment and get into my Rotary Facebook. Give me a moment to get that. Oh.
Yeah, well, while Sabir's working on that,
Yes.
one of the things that people quite often ask, and I'm sure he's going to go over this in just a minute. There seems to be a little bit of confusion in how you tag pages on Facebook.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, for instance, when a lot of your clubs post, if you tag the district in it, we'll see it and then we can reshare it. And it's just a matter of doing at Rotary 6540, and it comes up with a little drop down menu. You can just click on it, and that's how it tags, for instance, our district page. It's always kind of a good idea to do that when it's something you want to share more widely. We love to see that for projects. If any of you currently,
I want to put it there.
if any of you currently follow the district page, you'll see a lot of shares from individual clubs where we share projects that are going on. There've been a lot of new members lately, which is always great to see, and we try and share those widely to build up the momentum and share ideas. There's nothing against stealing ideas in Rotary between clubs and whatnot. So
Okay, so let me do one thing, because I somehow am not seeing the Zoom. I minimized it too much. So let's see. Now I think I should be able to get that. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my Facebook page? It is coming up.
yeah, we can see what your
Okay.
the Facebook page.
Rotary Club
Yeah.
of Munster.
Yeah, so Rotary Club of Munster. So the reason that is coming up, because I'm already that page, I'm part of it and I kind of manage it. So what I'm like to do is that, first of all, show how to create a post. And this is good for your own personal page, or if it is Rotary Club of Munster. So it doesn't matter. So when you come to this, so it will say that there are two things that can come across. One is that create a post, which is very straightforward. The other could be that, how do you feel now? So again, the same thing, you can write some text there and add some photos and videos. So this is where I'm going to create a new post for some things that we did recently in our club. So I'll write some things a bit later. Let me first show how to upload photos and videos. And if you look at this icon, it says photos and videos. So if I click that, so it tells about the directory where from you are going to get the video. So it comes to this directory, and I have a Rotary file that is there, and I'm going to get a photo from here called
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Where are these Rotary files? Where did you go for those?
Oh, that is my personal directory. So in my C drive, or if I have a flash drive, so it is right there. So you create a
Okay.
directory for all the, for
Okay.
me, I create all my Rotary things in one Rotary file directory,
Okay,
right? You may have something for your personal accounting, all the files, you put it onto one directory. So that's what I did.
These would be
So-
photos that were taken at a project or something else like that.
Yes, yes.
Subir, but
Yes.
here's my question. You're doing this on your laptop, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So if I'm doing it on my iPhone, can I go, will that open up my photos on my iPhone so I can select one of those?
Yes, I think iPhone could be a bit simpler in some way to upload the photo. But personally, I find it a bit difficult to write in there some text. So because the screen is much smaller and the
Yeah.
typing, the keyboard is not there that much. We are not the youngsters who seems to use all the fingers. We use one, maximum 2 fingers. So we are challenged. So, I always use for this my laptop because I can type it out and everything.
Okay.
So rotary files could be any other directory where you have something. So this is one photo I will highlight and open. And there you go, it has come there.
Mhm.
And now I want to write something there. So I will again go to, I can write anything, but what I like to do is to get a little bit of some details. So give me again a moment. I will try to get that up there. Yeah. Copy that. And get rid of that. Right over here. Paste it. So there you go. So I got a description of what this photo is all about. Right? And
And then, for instance, as Sabir's
Yes.
got this up there, if he wanted to tag the district, he would just put in the @ symbol by doing Shift 2 on most keyboards, and then just type in Rotary 6540, and it would come up with that little menu I was just mentioning. And that's how you tag that. So,
yes. Now I don't see where is the post. Is it to the bottom somewhere there? Let's see.
I'm sorry, what were you
There,
gonna say?
there you go. Yeah, now it was all the pictures of you guys were blocking my post. So I'm going to hit the post here. I don't want to chat at this moment, so not now. So I have posted that in our Monster Rotary Club Facebook page. Okay, now it says that you can reach more people with your post. So, okay, you guys are, very busy and all that, but I'd like you to also know about what is going on in the Monster Club. So if I post in there, so that goes to the, the Rotary President, that Facebook page that you have. Okay, so that way it is much simpler. So Chris, please go ahead if you have some more tricks and tidbits that you want to share.
No, like I said, the just tagging the district was the only thing I wanted to add on there. I just that's one of those things where although it does prompt you, as you saw, for sharing it to other groups that may be related, tagging it is one of those things where once you get in that habit, it really can make a big difference in how the posts are distributed and how many people can see stuff. So
Yes.
the one thing that Sabir didn't do when he was doing that post was post a location with it, because you can often tag things like which you're meeting at a restaurant, or if you're working on a project for, say, Habitat for Humanity, or some other local organization that you've partnered with. And it's always a good thing to tag those groups as well, just because, again, it emphasizes the reach.
Yes. And one of the ways that you can do location, it tells where you are. There's one more icon here that is called the share. So you can broaden the reach by clicking that share. So since I clicked on that, so share to a group or share to a page. So Facebook has two different ways that you can outreach. One is a page and a group. Page is a much better option these days. I was talking to Chris, and it looks like, Chris, please go ahead. What you have to say about the page versus group?
Well, one of the things that makes this a difficult thing to instruct about is that Facebook's algorithm is always changing. 2 years ago, Facebook groups were really their premier way to connect with people, say in a Rotary Club or something else like that. But as the algorithms changed and focused more on video and short form content, they're really emphasizing things like Facebook stories, which is kind of like Instagram stories or TikTok, videos that are less than 20 seconds in length. And as those things go on, it can be kind of difficult to keep up with it. And what I was talking with Sabir earlier, we were talking about the algorithm is kind of deprioritized groups. So it's still a good idea to share groups if you've got an applicable group. Like quite often my home club in Rensselaer, there's a Rensselaer area community group that we'll post our Facebook events and everything else to, because it's a specific group for the area. So.
Okay. So for simplicity, what we have, by the way, we have a district has both a page as well as a group. So many times I shared with both of them. So let's see how to share with a page. Now, these are some of the pages that I already either member or kind of an administrator, so I have that ability to share with these pages. So it is already part of Rotary Club of Munster. So why don't I put share with the Rotary District 6540, and is there a post somewhere there? Let's see, it is always getting, yeah, there you are. So I click on share. So that you can see that at the bottom, there was a message came up. It is shared with the page of Rotary District 6540. So what I did in the last 5 minutes or so is that we had an event where on our Tuesday luncheon time, we had a check presentation ceremony for a district grant we got recently to equip Ashley House, which is a safe home for trafficked women in East Chicago. So we got that grant, thanks a lot to the district, and we put a little bit more of our own money as a matching grant. So we were able to give them $3,600, and the project is now complete. All the cameras are on, and the administrators can monitor it, remotely and all this. So the gentleman that you saw there, we gave the check there, he made a presentation, and we now made a post. We took some pictures, we wrote some narrative, and we created a post, and then we shared the post with the Rotary District as well as the Rotary District Club presidents. So if we go through all these steps, I think informing the district as well as the other clubs, you are now able to do all those through those simple steps. So I'll stop the share for a moment, and for any questions, Chris may have something else to add on. So
Once you post something and you don't want it on your Facebook site anymore, how do you take it down or delete it? I don't know what term you use.
Yeah, bingo.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
Chris,
not
please.
sure as you say, sorry to jump in, but I'm not sure I follow you, Tim. Are you talking about something that from something in the past? Like an event you would have, and then
you've got stuff up there that's so out of date, or you would rather have the first thing seen or something really current.
Well,
And
the big thing with that is unlike, say, a website where we're constantly removing data and adding it back in, social media is pretty much a linear timeline. So just to replace old stuff with new stuff, you just post new stuff.
New stuff.
That's why we talk about these different things all the time, because new posts always replace old posts and push them down. And if you start deleting stuff off social media pages,
Oh, correct.
it kind of in a way erases the evidence of what you've done. And in the case of a lot of the clubs where they're posting programs or grants or these things, it's good to have that record where you can point back and say, you know, we took photos of this. Where did we put them? Oh yeah, they're on the Facebook page. We can just grab them back off there.
And
So it becomes
Tim-
kind of
oh,
a archive.
sorry.
sorry,
Tim,
go ahead.
also part of the citation is social media postings, so we don't ever want, you know, them to delete posts, because that way they can go back and count their posts. The only way for a post to stay evergreen on Facebook is if you specifically pin it to be the first post that everybody sees. Otherwise, the minute you make a new post, that post drops down. So you're always seeing the newest post when you go on someone's page.
so it's basically unlimited space.
Yes,
Is that right? Available to you.
yes. You don't ever
Okay.
have to worry about running out of space on Facebook. You
All
can,
right.
there are people posting 30 times a day. I
Mhm,
mean, I don't advise that, but there are people doing it.
mhm. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And just to follow up on what Holly said, the latest post that I put in, yeah, maybe some of you noticed that it is not on the top at this moment, it is at second or third. So what I'll do once the, you know, the talk is over, I will, there is an option there called pin to the top. So once I use that option, so this latest post will go to the top of that until and unless I put something on top of that. So you have a way to, you know, put the latest one always at the top. And also your question that can I delete the one that I have just posted? I don't know how much time that it is there, but if I go there, I can delete a photograph and I can delete the text and revise the text. I can do it. I think there is a time limit for that though. Chris, do you know how much is that? How long?
I've never run into a time limit on anything like that. But it's very rare that I would go back and do that even a week later. It's one of those things where social media is more post and forget than it is anything else. So
Now I'm talking more like a grammatical error or things like that. Sometimes
Oh,
it creeps in.
Okay.
So you can go in and even if you have posted, you can use the edit option and
Yeah.
edit it and take care of it.
So posting
Yeah,
is
and-
not standing yet. Yeah, okay, yeah. You can't, you know, correct anything you already sent. But here you can, okay, because you're posting it, okay.
Yes.
on Facebook, yeah, you can go back and edit things on Facebook a long time before that. There are other platforms where you can't, but yeah, you're pretty much okay with Facebook doing that.
Okay.
So if you're collecting money over a given period of time for a project, you can go back in as new money comes in and update the totals and put a new date in there, correct?
Correct.
If we
Keep
want to,
people
yes.
current on the progress of the project. Okay, okay, all right.
You can do it. Now,
Tim, you're probably talking about the event, collecting money for the event, or is it an open thing?
Well,
Tim?
it depends on whether you're using the automatic tools or whether you're using a manual method.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
couple
what
different
I
ways
was
to
asking
manually
what
do
he
it.
was thinking.
Gotcha.
team.
No, I was just thinking if we were keeping the records and every week we did our totals and then post those totals back on Facebook and put the current date on there so people could see that and if we have the goal on there, people could see we're getting closer to our goal.
Are you talking about through the donate button or what?
No,
particular-
I'm just saying if we're, no. I'm just saying if we were in the course of create a project and we're raising money for it from all sources, and we're
Huh.
keeping a running total, we could go in there as time goes on and maybe
Oh.
every week. And then post the new total with the new date, the current date, just
Okay,
against our goal. So people would know we're getting closer to the goal.
So you are saying that we can go back and edit. A manager of a Facebook can edit that forever. So you can go back, and as long as the person has the complete rights, they can go back into that Facebook post they did. They can edit anything they want. I can or pull the whole thing down.
Okay, so you
That's what Chris was
recommend,
talking about earlier. So you
Yeah.
can always edit the page, and it can be brought to the top by saying that post it at the top.
right.
Okay.
So are you suggesting only one person be empowered to run a club's Facebook page?
No, definitely you need two. At least two.
At least two, okay.
Because somebody may not be, on vacation or gone somewhere, so it has to be continuous. For example, at our university, Facebook, Ranjan, myself, the dean, and maybe few others have the ability to post pictures and comments and things like that.
So there's some type of a registration where your names are inputted and recorded and, okay,
Yeah, what happens is that the person who started the account has the ability to invite others to post in there. So if Dean is the administrator, he or she can invite other faculty members or staff to post in there. So just like I can post on 6540 because Chris gave me that, that permission to post it.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So I showed you the picture part, which does not take much of a memory size. So it went in pronto, right? It did not even take more than 10 seconds, perhaps. It's a different story for the videos. So for my personal experience, and this is where everybody can come in about yours, what I find for Facebook, if the video length is more than a minute, maybe a minute and a half, it becomes a bit tedious and takes a lot of time to upload. So the option that I do, these are some of the things that you learn, is that what I will do is that I will upload slightly longer videos, if that be the case, on the YouTube, and send the link of the YouTube through Facebook, or you are sending, weekly messages to your club members and attach that link to the YouTube to them. When I do that, I also add the Facebook link also, because many of our Rotarians in our club do not have either a Facebook account or they do not open it at all. But they do open the email that goes every week. So through that process, we are able to get them onto the Facebook. So let's see how you guys do for the videos. Chris, any thoughts on the videos?
The only thing that I'll say there is, as one of the other slides has on it, there's a difference between the videos that you would have in a Facebook story, which is much easier to post for mobile. And for anyone who's comfortable using a smartphone, that can be any easy way to do it. But those have to be vertical video like TikTok. So instead of being a wider aspect ratio, they're taller. So that's the only thing really to keep in mind when you're dealing with video as it stands right now. So.
All right. Ranjan, any thoughts
About what?
about video uploading? Have you encountered any challenges on Facebook?
No, you did give a longer video, put a YouTube link, upload that in the YouTube directory and give the link. Shorter video, like Chris mentioned, you can create as a story. And another advantage you can have that story with the snippets of video added throughout the event or throughout the day or whatever program you're in. And it will be a continuous pieces of that in the story. That can also be done. You can continue to add that rather than making one long one.
Yes, shorter ones. Okay. Any other question on the pictures, photos, and videos uploading? Okay, there's a question for you, Craig, from Andrew. Does algorithm favor videos uploaded directly to FB?
Close the door.
I don't hear
Yes,
you. Yet.
there's a, sorry about that. I
No,
I
no
double
problem.
muted. Yes, there is a big difference. If you're trying to share a link from YouTube to Facebook, if you put that in the body of the post, Facebook's algorithm will actually rank it lower than if you were doing, say, a native Facebook video. So it's something to really keep in mind. Because what I have done in the past is actually put it as the first comment. So you make a post saying that you've got the video, then you add a comment to that post with the actual link in the video, and the algorithm won't download it as much. If you're going to do something though, where you're doing anything longer form, YouTube is a lot better for longer video. Facebook is really pushing that TikTok and Instagram stories model of shorter vertical video. I mean, that's really what's getting ranked higher in the algorithm at this point. So.
All right, thank you. A couple of things I should mention here is that, from our team's point of view as a leader for our district, two things that we want our Rotarians to do. One is to check out the Rotary 6540 website, district website, for information about what the other clubs are doing. And they can, get some good brownie points there from there and some ideas for projects. And the second thing is to share their own stories. Now, for that to happen, I think it's a better thing for each club to have a social media chair, and that person uploads those information to the district, or just the way that I did, share the post that you do for your own clubs and share with the district. So I think that two-way communication is very critical. And I think that communication from the club to the district is very vital, because that's where, a team and his team will get the information about individual clubs' activities, and they can also share with the other clubs. So one of the suggestions will be that one of the first things for all clubs to have a social media chair, or somebody who is entrusted with the social media.
Well, here's my question. What are your thoughts on having two platforms, a Facebook and just for simplicity, as I say, Instagram, or maybe at a later date, TikTok, wherever the technology and eyeballs are taking us?
That's a good idea. Instagram does not much have a good laptop interface. So it is mostly mobile based. And since all of us are on mobile, so that should work well.
The other thing is that Instagram is connected to Facebook, so you can set your Facebook up when you post to it, that it automatically posts to Instagram at the same time.
Oh, that's really good to
Yeah,
know.
that's very good point. And, to answer your question, team, yes. But when I surveyed our club members, one of the things that came up, those who are the small business owners and all that professionals, they wanted a LinkedIn account. And I created one, but I do not see that much of an activity there. So it's kind of dormant at this moment. But if a club has a lot of small business owners and professionals who would like to network professionally, I think LinkedIn is the way to go.
Okay.
So that's another thing. So I'll, with your permission, I'll try go to the next slide. So we did the posting part. And let's go here. How to like and follow a Facebook page. Now, this is a point I was trying to make, that how do we get the feed from the Rotary district, or for that matter, any other Rotary club's Facebook page, right? So for that, these are the simple steps. So maybe I will go again to the Facebook page of the Rotary, and let's do that. I'll stop this share and okay. So I'll go to my account, personal account. And since I'm in already Rotary District 6540, it will not help. So I will go to Rotary random one, like Rotary 3240. All right. So it has come up. It is somewhere I just used it randomly, somewhere in Northeast India. They are very close to the China, Burma, that border. There's a club out there. So now if you want to, follow them, I do not want to. So I'm not going to click the follow button. But for us, if you are not following 6540, all you got to do is to get you onto your Facebook account, type out Rotary District 6540 on the search area. And once Rotary District 6540 comes up, there is a follow button like this. And once you click it, you start following Rotary 6540. So as a strategy, as a first step, I think if all the social media chairs of all clubs do it, that will be the first step. And I think then that person can encourage all other Rotarians in their clubs to do the same thing. So all the Rotarians will be on board with the Rotary District 6540 Facebook page. So that is the simplest way perhaps to network. I'll stop share over here, and any question on that?
Okay, if, like you said, I don't want to hit follow, but let's say you do hit follow, can you hit unfollow?
Good question. I have not tried that as yet, but Chris, did you?
Yeah, at any point you can follow or unfollow anything on Facebook's platform. There's not a limit to being able to either like or unlike something. If you do accidentally like something, you can always kind of walk that back. So it's not, there's nothing too horrible about any of it. So
So in this case, if you hit follow, it's the same as hitting the like.
No.
No.
Yeah, Ranjan, please go ahead.
No, Chris was about to answer. Go ahead, Chris.
yeah, I was going to say the follow is just if you're following a page or a person, those posts will just show up in your feed, so you're more likely to get the content. Liking a post is more or less just a signifier of approval. It makes it more likely for that to show up in other people's feed, but in general, the Facebook feed is kind of messy in that way. That's why you see sponsored posts, because those are ads. So I mean, there's a lot of when we talk about the algorithm favoring something, that's really how it comes up in your feed.
Okay.
So personally, I like the follow thing. So it's a much better option than the like. So
No,
that is
there is a distinction between liking and following. Following is a specific method used by that Facebook user so that they don't get inundated by the friend request. So you follow that. It's a unidirectional flow of their posts. Whereas in the liking, that you have liked them and their posts are coming, you can interact with them about that. Follow is unidirectional. That is, it's coming from them. They set that up so that everybody follows them, those who want to.
Okay, but they don't want to be in a participatory situation. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
And anything that you do, if you're an administrator, Tim, you can unfollow, you can follow, you can edit, you can block, all that if you're an administrator. And you can, if you are also your Facebook, you can do that. This is institutional Facebook they're talking about, Rotary.
Understood.
All right. So any other question on that? If not, I'm keeping a tab on the time also, 16 minutes left. So this will be the last slide that I'm going to talk about, and then Chris will take over. So the last one is, how do I tag other Facebook pages or people in my pages photos, right? And there are all the description that are out there. So just like the way that we are doing, just to demo it rather than go through the steps, why don't we do that? So give me a moment to again go back to the Facebook page. So this is share. All right. And let me go back to mine. Okay. Home. I didn't mean to show all my family pictures though, so please excuse
right.
me. So let's go there to my clubs page, and let's see. Go to one of the. Okay, so we had another event. So this is a picture from there. So this is my wife. So I'm trying to tag her, and let's see how does it work. So tag photo here, and so I click on her. So trying to type her name. I think there, this is her. So I tagged. So you can see that tag successfully submitted, done tagging. So she will get this photo because I have tagged her, and it will come to her Facebook. And Ranjan, please, or Chris, please expand once I tag, how does it come in? Because very few people seem to tag me.
Well, when you tag a photo, it comes across the notifications. So just like Sabir has the bell icon in the upper right hand corner with the number 2 on it, the person that he's just tagged, when they log in Facebook next, they'll have their little bell notification that they've been tagged in a photo. So,
All right. Thank you. So that's
Yeah,
how
one of
you
the
want,
things-
if you want to tag somebody. Yeah, please go ahead, somebody.
One of the things that has created some issues for some people, without tagging them in the text, they put everybody's name they know, and that creates problems. And in the text, when Subir sees that page over there where Samita's name is there, other people do not tag, but they just keep saying at their name. There are a whole bunch of people, and they might have some bad message and tag all their friends. That is one of the notorious things that has been done by many people. So you need to be aware of that. So tagging what Subir did on the photo is correct, but other people do the names along with the paragraph. They need to be aware of that.
So I'll stop share on this. So Chris is all yours.
okay. We're going to get into a little more technical discussion real quick. But again, I'm going to keep this really short and light. It's something that we kind of cover in a lot of other training, but I think it's important to at least mention it here. When we're talking about photos and video, that's really, you've heard me say the algorithm several times tonight. It really is a complicated thing, and it's not. The big thing to remember is when you're dealing with profile photos, they want to be square. They default to want to be 170 pixels, but you really don't need to know that. Because if you go to canva.com, which anyone who's associated with a nonprofit can use it for free, or it's a very low cost program. If not, you can find templates for nearly everything to do with social media, whether that's Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. There's things on there for just practically everything. And one of the other more Rotary specific access points we have is the Brand Center. If you go to rotary.org/brand center, that's where you can download club logos, or if you have an image that you want to use on, say, Facebook, you can upload it and put the People of Action overlays over it so that it has all the correct logos and branding and all that. So, I mean, there's a variety of ways to do it. It's just the three basic things you have to remember are profile pictures want to be square. If they aren't square, when you try and post them, it's going to give you a dialog box and allow you to resize it and show you the crop. So how much it's going to shrink it. Cover photos want to be roughly rectangular in a wider aspect ratio than they are tall. They tend to resize them for mobile. That's why if you look at it on your phone or look at it on your computer, as Sabir was, it looks a little different. If you're too low a resolution, that's when you see things on there that are kind of square. If you're using any kind of a modern smartphone, it's really not a problem. By default, most any smartphone made in the last 10 years is going to have a camera that's more than sufficient for any kind of social media posting. So it's just, you have to kind of keep in mind that when you're dealing with the story posts, it wants to be a certain aspect ratio. You have to keep it under their time limit. And those things are really, I mean, it seems a little complicated to just hear me say it, but when you get into it, it's just a matter of remembering that story posts want to be vertical, less than 15 seconds. If it's a photo, as long as it's a vertical photo, it will post just fine. And that carries over to other platforms like Instagram and TikTok. As Sabir was mentioning, TikTok is really the younger crowd that we're trying to target for membership. Instagram is kind of a wider age range still, but it is very mobile focused. It's very hard to manage Instagram on a computer. But Facebook is kind of, for most of our clubs, is kind of the age range that we're dealing with. So just keep in mind that, text is kind of the lowest bar for the post that you can post. An image would be the next highest bar, and video would be, with the way the algorithm works, your best bet as far as catching eyes to interest people in the material. So
You put up, Chris, you put up their profile photos. I have no idea what that is. Is that a company? Is that an app? What is it?
oh no, the profile photos, in fact, let me share my Facebook for just a second and I'll show you.
Sorry for my ignorance, but I have
No, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. No problem. Okay. Here you'll see the district Facebook page that I'm on. You see how the logo here is just a little bit cut off. This is really designed to be a rectangular form factor, and our logo for the district is taller. We kind of try to do a compromise with it, because in the mobile version it shows up one way, and the desktop it shows up another. So when we compromised last year, this was the most of the image that we could get to show up at one time and still be readable, because that's one of the things you kind of have to look at when you're looking at either Facebook photos, stories, or text, because different platforms show them up different ways. I mean, and as you can see from the logo image here, because it's taller, I mean, the rotary wheel shows up beautifully. In fact, we've got a lot of the clubs that are just using that as their profile picture. So you always can identify them as a Rotary club, which I think is great. Our district logo is a little more distinctive. It's a little more descriptive in a visual sense. And that's really the kind of the thing you have to think about with anything you're posting in social media, is you're telling a story. And it may look just a little bit strange to see the logo truncated like that, but it still tells the story that we are the northernmost district of the state of Indiana in Rotary. So I hope that kind of made sense.
What is profile?
Well, that round picture that I was showing, that's the profile image. That's just the identifier that Facebook comes up with so that whenever you, in fact, let me flip back to the screen.
So it's
share.
not a system or an app or an algorithm or
No,
anything?
no,
Okay,
no. It's just the way the page displays.
All right.
Any of the pages that I deal with, like here's my home club, Rensselaer. Our profile picture is a version of the rotary wheel that goes back to when we used to do circus, a traveling circus that came through the area, and we would sponsor them every year. It's one of those things that a lot of the club members really enjoy, even though I've tried to convince them to let me update it and bring it back into compliance with the newer ways of the Rotary logo. But we all know that sometimes club members can be a little set in their ways. So it gets to be an interesting conversation when you're trying to change things at a club level. So, but yeah, when you're looking at it, you see how the picture shows up on each of the posts is just the top left corner. It's just the indicator for the page. That's all the profile picture is.
Okay, okay.
So, do we have any other questions, or now's the time to ask? Don't be shy.
I got a question. Subir, how do we know when we have the right mix, meaning the right, let's say, effective mix between still shots and videos? Or are we moving down a road where all these sites will have nothing but little short videos on them?
I would think a good combination of the two. For example, I think for me, the optimum post should have maximum 2 videos and a carousel of pictures about 10 to 12. That will be an optimum post for me. Because Rotarians like their pictures there, at least Munster Rotarians. And they definitely would like to be identified on the picture. That, that's why I always name them. So that's good. Video, you cannot do that. So picture has that ability to you identify the member. So that's a added benefit to that. For example, for our holiday dinner, sometimes we have a full group photo, which is right in our Facebook. But sometimes we do not have that option. So I will go around the tables. So in a table, 6 people are sitting, and say there are 8 to 9 tables, and go to all the tables and put that picture with everybody's names. So that's where the benefit of the photos come, although they're static.
Well, and that's not 100% accurate, unfortunately. You can tag people in a video. You can't tag it in the same way you can a photo, because there's not a still frame that you can just click on a person and do it. You can still tag them in the post though. So let's, I mean, it's one of those things where as you're editing the text of the post, in fact, let me share my desktop again and I'll show you, because we kind of glossed over that earlier. So I want to backtrack for just a second. So for instance, here's my club's Facebook page. And this was the video we did actually of Governor Tim coming to visit our club. So if you want to tag somebody in it, you can not only change the description to reflect that, but I can go through and actually do @ and then put in their name. Like Mike Pruitt, who's the AG for my home club. I can tag him here and give him even a message. But you can do just a line of tags to tag people in a video. Now, Subir is right. It's not quite as personable because you can't click on them to tag it like you can a photo, but it can still be done. Like I said, this will show up in Mike's feed when he goes to look at his Facebook now as the alert that we were just talking about with the notification icon. So
Okay. So here's my next question. So if you're getting if you're receiving a post, will that pop up on your iPhone, or do you have to have Facebook open in order to pop? Like when I get emails, I mean, they pop up and text all the time. I don't have that email app open. I got to go in and open it to read those things.
well, that comes down to whether you've got the Facebook notifications turned on your phone or not. Some people do, and they get notifications all day from things like that where they're tagged in a post, or that pages they followed are posting something. It all
Okay.
depends on your app's notification settings, though.
Okay.
So you really can't count on that as someone who's posting for a club or the district, because you don't know what their notifications are, and there's no way to tell externally. That's a choice. Those of us, and I'm sure Holly would agree with me, those of us who live on our phones really customize those things based on our personal preferences. And I'm sure that's one of the things that she would probably say is, and I've got a bunch of them customized too. I've got certain emails that are flagged, or certain phone numbers that are flagged that ring differently or give me notifications differently. And that becomes one of the interesting things about doing this as a page, because you're never quite sure how those things will be received. It's kind of like when we send out the district emails. I'll get questions right away from some people, and then but if I go and look into statistics, there'll be 40% of them that never get opened. So
You mean the newsletter? Okay. Yeah.
well, any district email that I send out, like the
Oh,
notification for today, or just stuff in general.
I see.
I can look at the statistics on all that with Club Runner, and then that's where actually social media is kind of nice, because we can go through and we'll cover this at a different session because it's a rabbit hole. But you can actually look at the insights and see who's opening a post, how long they're watching a video, if they click on a link, and it's all those nuts and bolts statistics that tell you whether your marketing is working or not. So
I'm done with questions. It's 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock where you are.
Yeah, it's 7 here. But one thing, Tim, your question leads to one important thing which we did not really cover. Chris alluded to that. It's about the settings. So who gets to, you choose that, who gets to get your postings, friends,
Yeah.
or everybody, and also whose post you are going to get, friends or everybody. So you have an option to create those groups.
Thank you.
So you do not want to at dead at night, your phone kind of makes a beep that a Facebook page has come from somebody in, across the world. So we
Yeah.
keep on having those. So
Right.
I think we have the ability to control that.
Yeah, good. Okay, super.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
How did you select the people to participate in this video?
Oh, you mean this session?
Yeah,
Okay, so Chris, please go ahead about the marketing and communication.
who did?
well, the invitation went out to all district Rotarians, because it was felt that anyone can potentially volunteer to do anything in Rotary. That's one of the real strengths of our organization. So we wanted to cast that net wide, that way we could see who had an interest or who had questions. We've had a lot of interesting questions tonight, so that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of borne fruit. So
One of you guys picked my name out of the hat.
well, no, it went to everybody in the district
Oh, it did?
completely. So yeah, everybody in your home club would have seen it too. So
I have zero background in the area.
but you had the interest to show up tonight, so
Yes.
Well, I
that's
was
a great thing.
curious.
Curiosity is a great foundation to build on for everything. So that's
Yeah, so interesting.
Thank you. Any other question? If not, it was a wonderful experience. This is the first time, I think, at least during my tenure, we are doing it. And depending on interest and all that, we may offer maybe another training down the line. Who knows? Maybe Instagram, maybe TikTok, and we'll see how it goes. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot, guys,
Good.
for joining us, me and Chris.
Thank you, Sabir. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you both very much.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all for joining us tonight.
Thank
So.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice
Good.
job.
Thank you.
Nice job.